Hello everyone, it has been absolutely ages since my last video, so I do apologise, but I have been pretty busy since I have been inactive, and I thought that I would show off some of the stuff I have been doing, because yeah, as I say, I have been doing stuff, less of actual playing Planet Zoo, more of some other bits. So I have actually started dabbling into doing some mods. So I have now finished two, and they are available to download on the Nexus page. So I thought what I would do is just showcase them, really, just show them off a little bit, show you what I've done, and quickly just how to actually install them as well for anyone who's new to them, as I was before, but I now have a fairly good understanding of how they'll work. And then just a little bit about the future for what I'm going to do with mods and stuff like that with the channel and stuff I might make. So I shall introduce you to my two mods that I've made. So the first one that I made, you may or may not have seen. You will notice that we have some slight distortions at a distance. There's only one that really bugs me, which is the male on this side. So on this side we have the Roan Antelope. So these are related to the sable, as you can kind of tell probably. The shape of the horns, slightly the actual body shape, and the patterning on the face is kind of similar but not quite the same. Yeah, this is the first mod that I ever made, so it was a challenge, I must say, but I'm pretty happy that I actually managed to complete it. So let's have a look. Let me see if I can tell. We have got the slight differences between the male and the female. So this is a male, if I am correct. Am I correct? I am correct. So this is the male. Let me click off him. Actually, let's click on it. So slightly bigger horns in the male. He's a little bit bigger overall as well. In general, in terms of the actual colour and patterning and stuff, they are very similar. Of course, he would kind of stand in the bush, so we can't see him. That is typical. Let's go off him and look at the one. So is that male as well? Yes. So yeah, we have the male. They're kind of fuzzy around the sort of cheeks and the neck and stuff like that. This kind of brownish tan, orangish patterning, coloration, sorry, with the nice markings on the face. Longer ears, with some fluffy tips at the end. And the female coming into view there. She's got slightly smaller horns. I'm pretty sure that is a female. No, that's a male. Okay. This is a female. So slightly smaller horns, and slightly smaller overall. We have got a little bit of variation in colours as well, just because I think these guys are based off the reindeer. They must have some sort of variation in their coats, so they have some slightly browner varieties and some slightly more sort of orange variety. So yeah, that is these two. They're relatively big. They're similar size, as you can see there, to a person, but obviously they do vary quite a bit in terms of the size, depending on the genetics within the game. So some of them are big, some of them are small. Then we have a little baba. So again, edited the face, the markings, the ears, nice fluffy ears, fluffy body in general. Quite similar to the sable baby, but just yeah, those few differences, the patterning and the slightly the shape, and the ears are definitely a big one. So that is the Roan Antelope. Yeah, slight distortions. The male has got distortions on some of the LODs, which is the level of detail. So the further away you get, there's slightly different models, and you get this distortion, which is very annoying. I'm still trying to fix it, but as yet I'm not able to fix it. But it's not too much of an issue, because when you're closer you can't really tell. It's when you're further away then it becomes an issue. So when you get to that kind of distance, so it is a pain, and I really am not happy with it, but there's not much I can do about it, I'm afraid. So that is the Roan Antelope. Then just yesterday I published my next mod, so we've got another African antelope in here, and this is the common waterbuck. So yes, another species, African antelope. These guys are a different genus altogether from anything we've got in the game. They are related to things like lechwe and things like that. So this is the male. Let's get one standing up, shall we? Here we go. So lovely male here, the big kind of backwards, upwards sweeping horns, but quite fairly wide as well. We've got the patterning, the little eyebrows. Of course, you're going to stand in a bush as well. Oh no, we're coming out. Yeah, little eyebrows. We've got the ring around the neck, and then the most prominent feature is this. A little circle, bullseye target thing on the rump in white, which is the distinguishing feature really for the species. They're generally quite shaggy fur, so it's hard to do the fur really well in the game, but you can kind of see they're pretty fluffy around the neck and generally on the body, on the belly, things like that, on the backs of their legs, just to kind of give that impression of a lot of fluff and fuzz. So yeah, I'm very happy with these guys. I think they're quite handsome looking. These guys are based on the Gemsbok model, which is edited, but also using the reindeer coding, if you're interested in that sort of thing, whereas most of you are probably just interested in seeing the animals. So we shall go over to the female. Let's get one in the light. So female. Patterning pretty much the same on the rump, the neck a bit slightly smaller there, the little eyebrows is the same, and the coat pretty much the same. Males slightly darker, like they're using pretty much the same skin. The male model I did do slightly darker, but these guys again have got a slight variation in the coat. Some of them come out a little bit grayer, can we tell in these two? Not really. Some of them come out slightly more grey looking, some of them come out slightly more brown looking. I think you can kind of tell they're slightly brown, that's slightly greyer. So yeah, look at all those little butts. These have got one of my favourites, these guys, so I'm pretty happy that I've managed to pop them into the game, and I'm very happy with the model. They do suffer from less distortions, which is good. Nothing close up. I did fiddle around a lot with the female. She had some issues with the neck, but we got there in the end. So I think it's only when you get kind of that far away she does have a little bit of an issue. Male there as well, looks like he's having an issue, but yeah, it's not as noticeable when they're that far away. So when things like rig editing and stuff come in, then we might be able to fix some of these issues, hopefully, but who knows when that might be a possibility, if at all. Now lastly, the baby. I'm not overly happy with the baby, I must say. It's not really what I wanted it to look like, but we're limited with the rig again. For some reason the Gemsbok calf's ears always point backwards, even though the adults point forwards nicely like that. The babies are always like this. They don't sit nicely forward, so that's kind of annoying. They should be a little bit more upright in the neck, fuzzier, a lot fuzzier. So yeah, I'm not as happy as I could be with the babies, but I think for now this is the best I'm going to be able to do with them. But the similar patterns, markings, all that stuff as well with the babies. So yeah, that is my current 2 new species. I will briefly show you their zoopedias. So we have the common waterbuck, there's the zoopedia, got the all the information should be correct unless I've missed anything out. All this stuff, research, the facts and fun facts and all that sort of thing. Couldn't make them share space because of their content 1 animal, which I can't edit. But yeah, that is a common waterbuck, and then we have the past it Roan Antelope over here. Again, all the information in there pretty much. So that is the 2 mods that I have created so far. So as I said, I shall continue looking into all this stuff and doing some more. So if I briefly say how to install it, so I'll put the links to both of these in the description so you can see for yourself, and if you want to use mods, obviously as everyone says, it is at your own risk, but as long as you install it correctly and make backups of your saves, that's one of the most important things. If you're going to use mods in your zoos, then it is recommended that you have a saved file without mods installed as well. So just in case anything happens, obviously it should all be fine, but you never know, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So if I wanted to keep this zoo, I would have this zoo with all these animals in, and I'd have another zoo with none of these animals in, just in case something happened. Then I've got a backup if mods break with an update, or if you decide you don't want something anymore and you've accidentally not deleted them from your files, and then you delete the mod, then that could have an issue with your save file. So yeah, if you use mods, make a backup, a non-mod backup as well, and that includes in the trade centre. That's important. Make sure there's none of them in the trade centre and none of them in the actual map, and you should be good. So yes, if you go to the Nexus website, that's where all the mods are. You can download. There's loads of different types now. I think we've got over 100 different species now available on there. So it's fairly straightforward. If you go into the if you go onto the file and you download the file, you will need to unzip it. It's normally a compressed file, so you'll need to WinRAR or something like that to unzip the file, and then you should have a folder that's 8 characters long. I always state what the folder name is on my mods as well, so you know for certain. So for the Roan Antelope, that is Roan Ante, 8 characters, and the Waterbuck is Waterbuck without an E. Waterbuck. I think. No, it's not. It's not. That is not right. It's ellipsen. Waterbuck is the actual animal file name. The actual mod folder is ellipsen. So you just place that folder that contains everything you need into your OVL data folder in your Planet Zoo Steam apps folders. So you can just place that in there. It's got everything you need in, so you should have content 1, content 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 obviously, any DLCs that you have installed, and then in that same list you should have your mods. So your mod effectively is a new content pack. So yeah, you should place the 8 character thing into your content 0, 1, 2, 3 whatever list, and everything should work. If it doesn't, then you have probably done something wrong, and if you have any issues with mods, then pop a comment on the bug page for the mod itself, and then we can check them out. The mod creators can check it out and try and fix them and put updates out. So yeah, fairly straightforward really. And if you want to delete them, as I said, just make sure you've deleted everything from your game files, and then you can go onto the folders and just delete the folder, and it should be fine as long as you don't have any of them in your map or your trade centre. So future mods. So I'm going to continue. Obviously, I thought I would enjoy a new challenge, so I decided that I would do it, because as we all know, we get little lulls in how much we play and how interested we are and stuff, so I wanted to try something out that was a little bit different, a little bit new and interesting, so I'm quite enjoying making them, so I will make some more. I've got a few different things in the pipeline, I think, one of them being some new lemurs, but I have struggled a little bit with the coding, but hopefully I should be able to get them out at some point. And yeah, there's various other things. Obviously, if you do have any thoughts, suggestions, then I might consider them, but by no means will I say that I will definitely do anything. But yeah, if you had anything you desperately wanted, then you can suggest it down below in the comments. And in terms of mods as well, and for the channel in general, I previously said I probably won't use them, but they've become a lot better recently. The quality's been really good. They obviously don't replace things anymore, they're completely new additional species into the game, so they don't overwrite anything else. So now that I've done this for myself and seen it all, a bit more comfortable with it and everything like that, and those things have been ticked off, then I have decided I probably will start using other ones in general in some of my zoos. So for Whipsnade, I will probably make another save file, like I said, and do a modded version. So if we have some species that I originally thought were going to be implied because we didn't have them in game and someone's made a mod for them, then I'll pop them in. So we have things like the paired David deer, which has just come out recently. My waterbuck I can put in there with my zebras, instead of the wildebeest that I had as a replacement species, things like that. So I can do that. And then also in Crimson Valley, we had a whole host of different implied enclosures that I had planned to use, and some of these have been made. So things like Dick have come out. I can't think of any others right now, but there's a few different species that have come out that I was planning on maybe using as an implied enclosure anyway, so that sort of thing I can then try and get into another save file, a modded version of Crimson Valley as well. So yeah, quite a lot of potential for this, for myself and for using other people's mods as well in my zoos. So obviously there's no implications there's no can't think of the word. You don't have to use mods, that's what I'm trying to say. If you don't feel comfortable, then obviously you don't have to use them. They're just an optional extra if you would like them, and people put a lot of work into them, and they do try and make sure they are as stable as possible and don't have any issues. So and the installation is pretty straightforward now. So yeah, if you have any questions about it, then join the Discord, and we can talk about it in there. I have got a channel, a Planet Zoo modding channel, within my Discord, where we can discuss mods and stuff like that. So if you have any questions about them, then you can ask in there if you join with the link below, or you can comment below as well. If you like my 2 new species, then leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will probably showcase any future mods that I do as well. And we, as I said, will go back through and do some modding of my zoos that I've already built or started building, and some of my enclosures that I've already got. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you like these guys, and yeah, I shall hopefully see you next time.